Hi, it's the Rawsome Vegan Gal here, and today is my follow-up review video for a company called Living Clay, and here's their brochure. And Living Clay is the clay company that I mentioned that has some different products that actually use clay. It's calcium bentonite clay, just so you know the difference. And on my first video, which I'll have a link below this one, I talked a lot about what clay is, what it does to you, the benefits, etc. So if you want to really know about that and you don't know what I'm talking about, then check out the first video. And I also will have a link below this video to the company website so you can check out all their products because they carry lots of different products. So on the first video, I mentioned 3 products that I would be trying out and then telling you and doing my review about what I discovered from using them. So I started this protocol the beginning of June the 1st, and initially, and that was with the actual Living Clay that I drank, and I was planning to do it for 5 weeks, but I actually decided to stop it after 4 weeks following the protocol. So for the first 2 weeks, and that's with the clay here, and I'll show you how to actually do it, and that's with the clay, so you can see how much I've actually used in 4 weeks because I had quite a bit. And this is the 16-ounce container. So for the first 2 weeks, what they call the general detox, I did it 2 times a day for 14 days. Single serving is 2 ounces, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, on an empty stomach, and about 30 to 45 minutes before or after eating is best, so you get the benefits from it. So for me, when I did 2 times a day, it was easier for me to do it first thing in the morning and then before lunch, because I actually don't eat a breakfast. And then it was much easier for me to actually be able to do both of them. And then when I did then for the next 2 weeks, I did what's called the advanced detox, which they mentioned to do for 21 days, but I decided to only do it for 2 weeks instead. And in the advanced detox, you do it 3 times a day, again, a single serving each time, which is 2 ounces, 2 ounces total, which means you have a teaspoon of the clay with 2 ounces of water and mix it up. So you have morning, midday, and evening on an empty stomach. So I would do that again. And then if I was out, I'll show you how to make it all work, because maybe not so easy to remember and to do it. That's why, especially if you are someone who doesn't eat a breakfast in the morning, then it'll be easier. But if you do eat breakfast in the morning, then you could wait like an hour or 2 and then have the one before lunch and the same thing for before your dinner. So first I want to tell you a little bit about my experience with the clay powder. Let me just, I was going to put down the other products I'm going to talk about in a few minutes too. So when I drank the clay, some people have maybe never drank clay and they're like wondering, well, what does it actually taste like? So the clay for me was not really distasteful, I would say. It was actually quite smooth, the taste. There was a little bit of grit at the end of the drinking it, but really it wasn't anything that bothered me necessarily, and it had no aftertaste or anything like that. What I did notice for myself is that initially when I first started, I had a lot more movements, which I usually have anyway, and they were darker, so I may have been pulling out some old stuff out of my colon and more formed. And then there are times when I noticed I was a little spacey, and I don't know if that was from the clay, me detoxing from the clay, or me having lack of sleep, or a combination of both. But I did notice that on occasion. I didn't really notice any other detox, quote, detox reactions that other people may feel when they take the clay. So for me, I don't know. But so that was kind of the things that I actually felt, that I experienced personally from taking it. I don't think there's anything else that I actually could tell you. What I did want to talk to you is about how to prepare the clay. So I'm going to put down these other 2 products that I have to show you afterwards. So how to prepare this clay. Now, you never want to do it in a metal container or in a container that has a metal cover if you're going to take it with you. So it tells you here, always have it in a glass. You always mix it in a glass or food grade plastic. bottle with a plastic or non-metal lid. And the reason why they tell you that, and I'll tell you here, this is from that little booklet that I mentioned in the first video, How to Kickstart Your Day with Living Clay. It came with when I got the clay. So what it says, let me just find the page, excuse me, where it talks about that, about why not putting it in metal. Okay, so here, the proper handling, just in case I didn't mention this in the first video, proper handling, it should be kept away from extreme heat. It should be stored in food-grade plastic or glass bottle with a non-metallic lid and does not require refrigeration. So you can make a whole bunch in advance and then pour it off, but I do it a little differently. And always use a clean utensil when scooping the clay out of the container. So always make sure you have a clean utensil and it's dry, and I have a measuring spoon I'll show you. Now, so here's the reason. Never leave the clay in direct contact with metals for long periods of time. For example, don't leave the clay in a metal bowl. The clay's electromagnetic charge will act on the metal, severely limiting the clay's ability to draw when applied to the skin, and will cause the metal to prematurely rust. So meaning that the metal will cause the frequency, the charge of the clay will go into the metal. Instead of it being able to draw out the impurities from you, it won't be able to do that because you use it that way. And also don't keep out of close proximity to chemicals and strong odors. So you always want to use something that's gonna, so I have a container that I'll show you. Let me get that. So this is the container that I'm using. It's actually a BPA-free plastic. I'm not a big fan of plastic, but this is BPA-free. And this container actually came with my personal blender that I bought from a company called TriBest. So I'll have a link below, and I believe you can buy this container from them just as is without having to buy the blender. And it also comes in a larger size. Now what I like about this, if I can get it close to the camera and you can see it, is it has different gradations for amounts on it. So I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's kind of hard because it's plastic and it's clear. I don't think you can see it. Oh, there we go. You see those little markings? So it actually has a 2-ounce marking, a 4-ounce marking, and a 6-ounce marking, which is great because when I do two ounces, then I just put 2 ounces in here and then add the water and shake it up, and I'll show you how to do it. Now, when I was doing, since I was doing 4 ounces for the first 2 weeks, 4 ounces a day total, and then 6 ounces a day total, I had been doing it one way, but then I came up with a different idea. What I was doing was I was doing it each time. I'd pour the 2 ounces, I would take my measuring spoon. Let me get that to show you. So I have also a plastic measuring spoon, and it has a teaspoon. So you do a teaspoonful. You also do a rounded teaspoon. Put it in the container, and then add the water and shake it up. So then after I finished with the first time of the 2 ounces, then I would do it a second time. And then when I had the 3, I did it also. But what was happening was after the first time and I would shake it up, it would blend pretty nicely. But then afterwards, it didn't really blend so well. So what I was doing was I was taking a wooden chopstick. So again, don't use metal. You can use plastic to mix up the stuff that was not mixing up well when I shook it up. But then I came up with a better idea. If you are going to do a detox protocol, what you would do is mix up everything that you need, especially if you're going to have a container like this. And this container you can take with you. What I really love about this container is it does not leak, which is fantastic. It does not leak at all. So make sure, of course, you have to make sure it's closed tightly, but it will not leak, so you can carry this with you. So what I came up with, the new idea is, especially when I was doing 3 times a day, is I would put it all in here. I would put the 3 teaspoons of clay and then the 6 ounces of water and shake it up, and then just drink the couple ounces I need. And since it has the lines telling me I know where to stop, then I wouldn't have the issue of having to mix it up with the chopstick, because it would be fine. So I'm going to show you right now how to do this all after I put down all my other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our container here, and we're going to open up our clay. And then we are going to take out a teaspoonful of the clay and put it in our container. And my spoon is clean, so here's my teaspoonful of clay. And we'll put that in here. So we have the teaspoon of clay. And what I do is I actually store this in a cabinet so it's out of the heat. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my water, which I have over here, And I'm going to follow the lines here with the 2 ounces. Make sure I'm in the right place here. I can show you. And pour the 2 ounces of water. And stop right at the line there, as close as I can get to it. And then I'm going to take my cover. And then cover it up really tight. And then I'm going to shake it up. Ooh, I guess I had a little extra water got on the cover, but it does not actually leak. So I'm going to shake it. And this was actually wet already because I had used it before, but normally here it goes. Normally it gets mixed up really well. You can see there's a little bit at the bottom, but then you can still use the stick. Because my container was not completely dry when I'm showing you this. So once you shake it up, we'll say that it's done. It tells you in our little booklet here, shake vigorously until all lumps are gone, and then allow the mixture to stand for 5 minutes with the lid slightly loosened to vent and allow for expansion. And then you retighten the lid and shake again. So it says it doesn't need to be refrigerated and will keep for many months. So if you want to make multiple servings, they tell you how to do it. But I didn't actually do it that way. I just decided to do each time. I would take the teaspoon of clay and the 2 ounces of water, and then again shake it up. So this will be for my next time. So, but again, don't forget you want to open it up to vent it a little, and then make sure you close it tight, and then when you're ready to drink it, shake it up again so that it all mixes together. So, so that's the information on the clay liquid. So what I'm going to do now that I finished the 4 weeks is I'm going to do what they call a maintenance. And the maintenance involves just to support your body's immune system, staying toxin-free, and to balance your pH level. You take a single serving once daily, suggested, but you can take more if you'd like. And again, I just want to mention that all this information, I didn't mention before, my disclaimer, like I mentioned in the first video, that this is educational material, educational information I'm sharing with you with what I've done, and is not meant to substitute or supplement for your professional medical care. This information has not been evaluated by the FDA, and myself and the company Living Clay and all their associates and distributors are not liable for any issues or problems that you may face by using these products. So make sure you're under the care of a physician if you have especially severe conditions and you're concerned that this may affect it in a harmful way. I don't foresee that it would, but I just want to make that disclaimer now. So the other 2 products that I reviewed were, and I'll bring them over, were the face and body scrub. And this is the all natural, again, gluten-free, vegan, everything is paraben-free, no animal testing. And then I also reviewed their Detox deodorant in lavender, and all is made with clay. So first, let me tell you about the deodorant. The deodorant, I loved the lavender scent, was really nice. Everything is really pure in here. And the smell, I'm very big on things should have a nice smell or something, because don't forget, it's also aromatherapeutic. When you smell it, it's actually aromatherapeutic for your body. So you may also want to take a deep breath in and breathe in before you put it on you, since it's very nice, you know, the scent. It also has coconut oil, arrowroot powder, cocoa butter, baking soda. It has calendula infused olive oil. It has vanilla infused olive oil, lavender oil, sweet orange oil, sage oil. So it's got a lot of really great stuff in it. So I have to just say that for me, I did try this out for a few weeks, and it didn't work as well for me as I thought it would. I have to be honest. It worked most of the day, but I'd come to a point where it didn't work as well as I had hoped it would, and I kind of went back to what I've been using that works for me. So it is a good product, and everybody's body is different, and everyone is different the way they perspire and sweat and whatever their body produces. So for me, I mean, it's a great product. Again, you might want to still try it, but for me, it did not do the job 100%. Like I said, for most of the day, it was pretty good, but it depends on days. If I would sweat more, it didn't always work so good for me. So you may want to consider it. Depends on how your body is. but you use very little. You don't need a lot of it when you put it on your underarm. And it says it may soften in extreme heat, so you want to refrigerate to reharden it if that's an issue. Now the other product that I mentioned was their face and body scrub. And I really like this. This is really nice. It also smells really good. That's the other thing about it, and I'll tell you what I did. I like the feature in here that it has walnut shell. It's walnut shell powder. So what that is that's kind of helps you to exfoliate. It also has tea tree, peppermint, and jojoba essential oils to deliver a serum that draws impurity from the skin and deeply cleanses pores. Now the walnut shells exfoliate, which is really cool, and they're really small. So you have the scrub with the essential oil, so the combination. So I'm actually not going to put it on my face today, but what you do is you open it up and it has a little squeeze top, and I take about maybe 2 pea sizes or maybe a little more than that, like a squeeze out. And then first, before you actually put it on your skin, is you moisten your face with warm water and your neck. I actually wasn't doing the neck so much for this exfoliation, but you can. And then you apply small amount and scrub. And what I would do is I'd massage it into my face in a circular motion and rub it in all around. So imagine that I have it on here and over here and under here and then above here as well. And so you scrub it in, scrub it. Now while I'm scrubbing it, because it has the wonderful peppermint oil and also has grapefruit seed, tea tree, I would do some aromatherapeutic enhancements and take a deep breath in and breathe in that mint. It was just so invigorating. It felt so good. So I would, as I'm doing that, and then while you're letting it sit on your face, I continue to do that. So you have a little benefit of getting some aromatherapy. You know, it goes in through your nose, your olfactory, and it enhances your body's health as well. So after that, you let it sit on the face for a couple minutes, and what's very interesting was I actually feel the tightening, even though it's not like a mask, it's just a scrub, but you do actually feel the tightening from the clay. Then once you're done, you rinse it off with warm water. And then what I do is I rinse it with warm, but then I rinse it gradually with cooler water as well. And then the other thing is from the mint. The other thing I liked about it was it's very tingly on the skin. I liked it. It has like a tingly kind of like a liveliness to it that I really liked. And like I said, I inhaled the peppermint. So yeah, I really liked that. That was that feature of the thing. That's the enhancement with the smell and the tingling of the skin. So that was really really good. So yeah, that's the face and body scrub. So I will continue to use this, and I was also using this twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And you don't have to necessarily do it that way, but I did it and I liked it. Again, I didn't necessarily see anything different on my skin. I mean, I have fairly nice skin, I think. I don't know. Maybe you can see, but I try to take care of it as best I can because I know the face is something that everyone sees first. So we want it to look nice. So I do my best. So that's the scrub product. So those are the 3 products that now you have my results of my experiment using them. You have the clay powder. Let me bring that over again. So this is the 16-ounce Detox clay powder. And then we have the Detox deodorant in lavender. And finally, the face and body scrub. So you might want to check out some of these products for yourself and contact the company and see what else they have to offer you that you may be interested in trying out. So I thank you for watching. It's the Rawesome Vegan Gal.